Hi, I'm Kosher, and I'm here to tell you about my love of surf paints that I only discovered this year. Now, I should say, I live in a little town, Hillsville, about an hour from Melbourne, and Victoria, Australia. Well, it's in the Yarra Valley, beautiful Yarra Valley. So I could start off with telling you that I had a problem. A friend of mine gave me 6 big spheres, these spheres behind me here, and they were once street lights. They were made of polycarbonate, unbreakable, but a very slippery kind of surface, and I had them for ages before I could think of anything to do with them. And then I thought, well, the year was beginning and I usually apply for different sculpture exhibitions. And the first one was at a little town in Alexandra, out in the country. And it was an outdoor sculpture exhibition. So I was getting a bit desperate. I thought it'd be a great idea to do wildflowers, a field of wildflowers. That's this one here. And I tried all sorts of things. There are all kinds of pens. I tried ceramic paints. So many different things. Everything just seemed to drip down, and it was just so hard. I nearly gave up. Then I saw an ad on Instagram as I'm looking through, as you do, and this ad for surf paints popped up. And what persuaded me to buy my first packet was the comments. And the comments were so enthusiastic about the wonderful projects people were doing. I thought, well, I'll get a packet. So sent away, and very promptly, terrific service, they arrived. So I tried them out, and I just couldn't believe it. It had solved my problem because the surf paints adhered so beautifully to that slippery, glassy surface. Well, I've since discovered they adhere to heaps of things. I'll tell you about that later. So I went ahead with my sculpture, and I do little sculptures on top as well that I paint. So I took it off to Alexandra early in the year, and it was outdoors for 2 months. I'd sprayed it. I'd sprayed it with varnish. I'd actually I'd put about 3 coats of varnish, just clear varnish on it. And miraculously, after 2 months, it still looked terrific. I'll show you the other side. Whoops. And it just survived. It survived. The storms and the rain, and so thrilled to bits with that. So then I thought, well, my next application was for the marvellous Turak sculpture exhibition held every year, my next project. So I thought, right, that was such fun doing the wildflowers. I thought I'll do something different. I'll do birds. So I had never really drawn birds or painted birds or sculpted birds, but I love birds, and where we live there's heaps of birds. So I studied birds and I printed off pictures of birds. So my next one was for Turak, and I called it the Twitcher. And here's my Twitcher. That's the Twitcher over there, and the Twitcher is the guy on top. Sorry, my back, that's not very good. The Twitcher's the fellow on top, and he twitches look for birds. So I had a wonderful time doing all kinds of birds for this project, and that was about 6 weeks in the Turak sculpture parade. Or not a parade, they're in shop windows. There's 99 sculptures in shop windows, and my sister comes from Bendigo and every year to see it, because I've been in it for about the last 8 years, and that's my sister and I, and my sculpture was in a little cafe, so that got great exposure there, and I was very happy with it. Then came my biggest project. I'll tell you about one more project, and that was for Yering Station. Yering Station is not far from Hillsville, and it's a winery, beautiful grounds, just the most marvellous place. And every year they have a wonderful sculpture exhibition. And in fact, the big opening is next Sunday, the 27th of October, 2024. They get applications from all over Australia. So I was just incredibly fortunate to be accepted. And so my sculpture, I can't show you that sculpture. I'll show you a photo because it's already installed at Yering. I had to install it about 3 weeks ago. So what I did was I got a bird cage. I've called it Freedom. So once again, I had a marvellous time doing birds. So the woman is escaping, we don't know from what, and a bird is helping her. So once again, I used all kinds of surf pens. Well, by this time I'd bought fluoro, pastel. I think I've bought all the sorts now. And guess what? They haven't run out yet. Marvellous. So that goes until the 9th of December. If you happen to be anywhere in the Yarra Valley, 49 sculptors, indoors and out. Mine's actually indoors this time, but so that was great fun. I love the brilliant colours. The colours, as you can see on my sculptures, the colours are just marvellous. I'll show you one more sphere. Oh, wait a minute, I haven't shown you this one yet. This one here, I've called it Ocean Love. So I got away from birds and I started doing fish. So once again, I looked up the internet and found out about fish. So using these brilliant surf pens, trying out all the different colours and sorts and blending them. This is actually being installed at our local gallery in our little town, Hillsville. It's called Yava. And all the artists who were accepted for Yering, they get invited to put a sculpture in the Yava kind of small sculpture exhibition. This is kind of the limit of the height. And also members of Yava are also invited to submit a sculpture. So that's all happening. So I've got this little guy here reading a book about fish. But it was such fun doing those fish. I had just the most marvellous time. So I'll put that back and I'll tell you about something else I've been doing with wonderful surf paints. Just pop that there. Stay there. Oh, by the way, I have little turntables, and so that in an exhibition, if it's suitable, it can be just slowly turning around, with electricity. So that kind of adds to it as well. Okay, so, I know what, I'll show you. I better see how the time's going. Oh, yes. Oh, I've got a little bit of time left. So the next thing I'll tell you about is this Yava Gallery in Hillsville having an art fair. It's going to be all of December and all of January, which is fabulous. So artists have been invited to have things that people might like to buy, hopefully. So I've been using Surfpaints to paint all kinds of little containers and putting succulents in them. I'm a really bad gardener, but even I do not kill succulents. So I collect these little containers from all over the place, or I buy them if I just see little plain containers, and I have been having such a great time during the winter. Winter here, you've probably heard in Melbourne, Yarra, it's so cold. So sit by the fire and decorate my little pots. So I've got a whole heap of, oh, no, that would be terrible. Nearly broke one. Yeah, so I've had a really, I've got heaps more inside, so I do hope people are going to be buying them at this art fair. And just one final thing was, I love the nibs on them. I love that you can do very fine detail. I love it that you can do fine lines, you can do fat lines. They're very easy to use. I think I've mentioned mine haven't run out yet. Just finally, I've had no problems at all with service. Service is fabulous. Oh, the last thing I'll show you, I've been practicing on just plain white towels. Before I launched onto my spheres, I just happened to have quite a lot of little tiles, and so I practiced my birds. I've got a whole heap of tiles now. I don't know what I'll do with them. I'll think of something. Yeah. Oh, look, I will tell you one more thing. I know I'm going on a bit long, but one last thing for my last sphere. It's going to be a sculpture at our place, and we've got feral deer, and the feral deer eat everything. So they ate a ficus tree, absolutely just leaving it bare, and it was dead. So I spray painted the branches, and I've done more birds. You can see I love doing birds, and my lovely husband Freddie, he's done something so that it's going to nestle inside the dead ficus. Whoops! And I'm just waiting for coloured lights to come. Oh, I'm determined to break something here. Yes, I would. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so here's what it's going to look like. I was just having a little practice. So it's going to look like that. Oh, I didn't tell you about this one. I can't resist telling you about this. That one, I think, see the red spot? It's got this great little red spot. Always nice to see a red spot. And so once again, I've done birds, and it was responding to something my Canadian niece did. So a Canadian bought it, which is lovely, and that was at the opening. So I'm with my niece. She had her work and I responded to her work, and that was turning around all the time. So that was fun. But I don't actually think I showed you my collection, but I do plan to buy lots more, but they haven't run out yet. So I better stop. Do buy Surfpaints. They are fabulous. Bye.